Leo XIV, General Audience, St. Peter's Square, Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. This General Audience is from June 18th, 2025. It's part of a cycle of Catechesis for the Jubilee year of 2025, entitled Jesus Christ Our Hope. This is Section 2, the life of Jesus, the healings. Number 10, the healing of the paralytic. Quote, when Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had been ill for a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be well?" End quote. Dear brothers and sisters, let us continue to contemplate Jesus who heals. In a particular way, I would like to invite you to think about the situations in which you feel blocked and stuck in a dead end. At times, in fact, it seems to be pointless to continue to hope. You become resigned and no longer have the desire to fight. This situation is described in the Gospels with the image of paralysis. This is why today I would like to dwell on the healing of a paralytic, narrated in the 5th chapter of the Gospel of St. John. That's chapter 5, verses 1 through 9. Jesus goes to Jerusalem for a feast of the Jews. He does not immediately go to the temple. Instead, he stops at a door where the sheep were probably washed before being offered as a sacrifice. Near this door, there were also many sick people who, unlike the sheep, were excluded from the temple because they were considered unclean. So it is Jesus himself who reaches out to them in their suffering. These people hope for a miracle that might change their fate. Indeed, next to the door, there was a pool whose waters were considered thaumaturgical, that is, capable of healing. At certain moments, the water would stir, and according to the belief of the time, whoever immersed themselves first would be healed. In this way, a sort of war among the poor came to be created. We can imagine the sorry scene of these sick people who wearily dragged themselves into the pool. That pool was called Betsata, which means house of mercy. It could be an image of the church where the sick and the poor gather and where the Lord comes to heal and give hope. Jesus specifically addresses a man who has been paralyzed for some 38 years, but now he's resigned because he never manages to immerse himself in the pool when the water stirs, and there he's referencing verse 7. In effect, what paralyzes us very often is disappointment. We feel discouraged and risk falling into apathy. Jesus asks the paralytic a question that may seem superfluous. Do you want to be well? And that's verse 6. Instead, it's a necessary question because when one is stuck for so many years, even the will to heal may fade. Sometimes we prefer to remain in the condition of sickness, forcing others to take care of us. Sometimes also an excuse for not deciding what to do with our lives. Jesus instead takes this man back to his truest and deepest desire. Indeed, this man replies in a more articulate way to Jesus' question, revealing his true vision of life. He says, first of all, that he has no one to immerse him in the pool, so he's not to blame, but the others who do not take care of him. This attitude becomes the pretext for avoiding responsibility. But is it really true that he had no one to help him? Here is St. Augustine's enlightening answer. Quote, truly he had need of a man to his healing, but that man, one who is also God. He came then, the man who was needed. Why would the healing be delayed? End quote. The paralytic then adds that when he tries to immerse himself in the pool, there's always someone who arrives before him. This man is expressing a fatalistic view of life. We think that things happen to us because we're not fortunate, because destiny is against us. This man is discouraged. He feels defeated in the struggle of life. Instead, Jesus helps him discover that his life is also in his hands. He invites him to get up, to raise himself up from his chronic situation, and to take his stretcher. That's verse 8. That mat is not to be left or thrown away. It represents his past of sickness, its history. Until that moment, the past had blocked him and had forced him to lie like a dead man. Now it is he who can take that mat and carry it wherever he wishes. He can decide what to make of his history. It's a matter of walking, taking responsibility for choosing what road to take, and this is thanks to Jesus. Dear brothers and sisters, let us ask the Lord for the gift of understanding where our life is stuck. Let us try to give voice to our desire to be healed. Let us pray for all those who feel paralyzed, who do not see a way out. Let us ask to return to dwell in the heart of Christ, which is the true house of mercy, end quote. And then here's the appeal. Dear brothers and sisters, the church is brokenhearted at the cry of pain rising from the places devastated by war, especially Ukraine, Iran, Israel, and Gaza. We must never get used to war. Indeed, the temptation to have recourse to powerful and sophisticated weapons needs to be rejected. Today, when, quote, every kind of weapon produced by modern science is used in war, the savagery of war threatens to lead the combatants to barbarities far surpassing those of former ages, end quote. And that's from Vatican II's document Gaudium et Spes, Article 79. For this reason, in the name of human dignity and international law, I reiterate those in positions of responsibility the frequent warning of Pope Francis. War is always a defeat, and that of Pope Pius XII. Nothing is lost with peace. Everything may be lost with war. And then he had a greeting. I greet all the English-speaking pilgrims and visitors taking part in today's audience, particularly the groups from England, North Ireland, Norway, Cameroon, Australia, Hong Kong, Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, Singapore, Vietnam, Canada, and the United States of America. My special greeting goes to the members of the Hope 80 International Delegation at the start of the Flame of Hope pilgrimage as they seek to promote reconciliation and peace in this year marking the 80th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. May the light of divine love and fraternity always burn brightly in the hearts of men and women of our one human family. Upon all of you and upon your families, I invoke the Lord's gifts of wisdom, strength, and joy. God bless you.